Hey guys, welcome back to Speary Fishing.
We're spinning our Senkos.
What we got for you today is just something simple that we want to do. Tell our favorite catches from last year. You know, some things that we done that we thought was pretty cool, or we thought was, you know, at the time we thought was cool anyways. Looking back on it, honestly, wasn't that cool. But I'm going to tell you about it anyways. All right, guys. My favorite, well, I'll do my favorite one next. My second favorite one. All right, guys, here we are, and I'm taking Joseph fishing, and you know, we're going to Barbersville, and I'm stopping at Walmart, picking me up this new rod, and I'm like, you know, it's cheap, but it's a new rod, so I'm thinking, let's break this thing in, hopefully we'll catch a fish. Don't normally happen when I buy something new. Generally it takes me forever to catch a fish on something if I buy it brand new. All right, so we go, and you know, we're getting to this pond, and it's, you know, it looks like just magically, you know, you're gonna pick up the frog and start throwing it. That's what it looks like. It's just made for a frog. And so I start fishing the frog, one cast. I'm like, chat. Next cast, I'm like, man, I'm gonna get bit. And then the next cast, about halfway through that, you know, a little twitch every once in a while, and then BAM! It was on that new rod I bought. It was pretty sick.
Crappy rod though.
Crappy rod though. Found out later.
Actually, it was this rod right here.
Don't show it.
Guys, the $20 Berkeley Cherrywood HD. Gotta love it. God.
With the black.
So we got this pond. Scoot over a little bit. I want them to be able to see me. See what? We got this pond.
I see you.
We fish. I don't know. Normally probably once a week. To be honest with you.
Dude,
In the summer, we fish it a ton. Well, I fish it a ton. They don't fish it as much as me. But I just got up really early one morning. It was probably like 6. It was just where it's starting to get daylight, just starting to get a little bit warmer. I just figured, well, if it's going to be like that and it's going to be early, they should be eating a frog considering the population of frogs that pond has in the first place. So I tied on a Savage Gear. What do they call those frogs? Bombshell or something like that. And I missed, I'm telling you, probably 14 different fish on this frog, and they were all over 2 pounds. Every time they would hit it, they would either send the frog flying in the air like 5 foot, or the fish would come out of the water enough to where I could see it. And I actually even missed probably close to about an 8-pounder on it because of that frog. And the only fish I caught the whole day was about a fish about 1.5 pounds. He's probably about this long, and he was chucked full of whatever the heck was inside his stomach. And it was the grass. Yeah, probably.
Alright, guys. So I'm busting my hind end, mowing some yards. You know, it's summertime, or your grandpa's yard.
It wasn't busting up. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it started raining.
We got to leave early.
It started raining. We got to leave. We're busting our rumps, mowing. And so we leave there, and there's this creek, you know, nearby that we'd waded earlier that year and had a lot of success from, you know, catching little dinks. I mean, we were basically catching nothing big. So we go to catch us a few bass before we had to go home, and you know, it's like the middle of the day, it's heat of the day, and we stop at this little creek. It's got a bridge, and the creek's running under it, more fish right there under that, and I literally take like 1 cast, or 2 casts maybe, and it's like this shaky head crawl in there, and this is no joke, dude. I set the hook on, first I thought I was snagged. Secondly, once it started fighting and I realized it was a fish, I thought it was a drum or something big, like something humongous, a catfish or something stupid like that, because it was, for a creek, I was thinking, dude,
it was probably, what, 2 foot in that spot?
Dude, yeah, it's like, it was a little bit muddy because it was raining earlier before that, but I'm like, dude, you're going to get in there and get this. It's going to break my rod. I had like a medium light rod, and it's like 8-pound test. It's flipping my whole rod over, and I'm like, God bless, what is this thing? And I'm like, dude, you're going to have to get down there and get that. And he gets down there and he gets it, and he's like, oh my God, dude, it's a big smallmouth. So I'm lifting up, and I'm like, ain't no way this just happened. I just catch like a 5-pound smallmouth, or 4 or 5 pound smallmouth.
It was huge.
It was huge. Out of that creek, it was a monster. And literally, I'm walking up, I'm like, dude, I got to get a weight on this. I'm taking it to my truck, and you know, we're walking up down the road, and here comes people, and they're like turning around and everything to come see that fish because how big it was out of that little creek. And they're like, where'd you catch that? And I'm like, dude, I caught out of that creek right there. Like, no way, man. So I'm thinking, dude, this must be a brood. And really at the time, I didn't know how big it was, but it's pretty big. Yeah. And turns out the scale was wrong.
The scale was broke.
The scale was broke. You know, that's most of the time. I always carry either a broke scale or something that's got water in it or something. But anyways, guys, you know, that was my favorite catch last year because, one, it just happened so retarded. Like, I didn't plan this day of fishing and go out and like plan to smoke a giant. I just literally stopped and made a couple casts and bam, looking at a giant.
I'm going to start off from the very peak of this day. It was a fantastic day of fishing. So we started at the same pond that I was telling you about where I had the crazy bite on the frog that one day. So we was fishing, and I was fishing a jig, okay? And I throw it all the way across the pond, hits in the water, just letting it sit, just let it soak. So I'm like, if I reel up this rod and there's a fish in here, I'm gonna crap myself. That's literally what I said. So I reel down, and I'm like, oh my God, there's a fish. And I set the hook, and it just started fighting like crazy. I thought for sure I had like a 10, 15 pound bass. I was going crazy, and I was losing it, and I'm surprised that 10 pound test didn't break. But I was reeling and cranking, and then it came up. Turns out it was a big flathead, and it snaps the line this morning, laughs at me for probably about 5 minutes straight. So after that, we go to this bait tackle shop. This guy tells us about a really good pond, and actually a golf course ponds, 2 of them actually. And supposedly they was loaded with fish, so we were like, might as well try to fish it. So we go down there, and it's my first cast with a jig. I flipping these reeds, caught about a pounder, decent fish. Yeah, pound and a half, whatever. So anyways, we make our way around this pond, catching more fish, pound and a half, 2 pound. I think I caught 14 that whole day at those 2 lakes. And it came to about nightfall. He caught one, and his brother caught one. I had a couple. Actually, not a couple. I probably had about 6 by then. No, I had more than that.
Dude, you had like 10.
We made ourselves around back to this other pond after we went and picked up some smoothies or whatever the heck you want to call those. I don't know, smoothies. And we come back and we start fishing. And this guy's talking to him. He's over here wasting his time, and Blake falls in the water. So we keep going around the pond. And random cast just dead out in the middle. Set the hook. Fish starts peeling drag. Thought for sure I had another catfish on or something. And I get it in. It's about 3.5 pound bass. And pretty good. Then like 2 casts later, I caught another about a 3 pounder.
Yeah, that's like 4.
Which one?
Those both were about 4 pounds, easy.
I think it was about 3.5, 4. No, I can't finish the story.
4 pounders. Go ahead. That's missed.
My Senkos.
Go ahead.
My Senkos.
Go ahead.
Anyways, we're fishing these jigs, and my buddy, he decides he's gonna bum a black and blue bitsy jig off of me. Not this buddy, his brother. So he bombs the cast straight out on this flat, starts cranking in. He hooks into a slaunch donkey. I mean, a monster, 5 pounder. He gets it into the bank, and the way this bank was made, kind of like tucks out from under. So I shoved that fish under there when I went down to grab it. It scared him to death. He thought for sure the fish came off, and I looked back at him, gave him a disappointed face. And he's like, no way. And I just raised the fish up, and he just starts screaming like a maniac, and it's his personal best. And what was it he said in that video? I don't have a scale, but I'm pretty sure it's the biggest fish I've ever caught.
So I caught 2 big ones.
1 big one.
I want to lift this big. It's about 3.
No, it wasn't. That's a 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds. Nah, it's probably 2.
2.5. Pushing 3. All right, guys. So we've come to the end. Like, subscribe.
It's gonna have me linked in the description.
I'm not linking him in the description.
Okay, never mind.
Thanks, bro. Oh.